Hey guys, Tara here from Recovering Book Hoarder, and it has been forever since I have taped. I've had a lot going on, some stuff health-wise, and this weird thing that happens with my mouth when I talk too much, and it just gets frustrating, so I've not been taping. But we're gonna see how it goes. I did actually tape a couple months ago, and it just turned out terribly, so I never even uploaded it. But I have lots to show you guys. I will do all of my stitchy stuff, and then towards the end, I'll talk about some life stuff, maybe some books, we'll see. But all right, so I have several finishes since I saw you guys last. The first one is Octopus Garden from Blackbird Designs. And I absolutely fell in love with these. So this is from the Fab 4 Sal, Magical Mystery Tour Sal people are hosting. I can't remember who's hosting, but I just absolutely adore this. I want to say it's a piece of 18 count. Yeah, I think it's 18 count. I did 2/2. No, not, hold on. Must be 36 count. 36 count, 2/2. And I think I did everything I started. And loved it so much that I bought Blackbird and Yellow Submarine, which you guys will see in my new starts. So that's my first finish. Then I am working on Christmas gifts. So I had my nieces go through and pick a couple of ornaments that they liked from my past years of the Just Cross Stitch Christmas Ornament magazine. And so this is one that Libby picked, and this is, let me see who this designer is. This is called Have a Maud Christmas by Sunny Lofstrom of Three Tiny Owls. And this is what it looks like if you do it as charted. I did a little bit as charted and then made changes just based on Libby's favorite colors. Sorry, I did not iron at all. So just like a pale blue linen. It was just a piece of linen I had gotten from a Stitchy box, I believe. And I'm happy with how it turned out. Lots of quarter stitches and some back stitches in this one, which I don't love the quarter stitches, but it does kind of make the piece. All right, so I had that one. Then I have this gift. This is also another one for Libby. And this one is called Poinsettia Fairy. I should say that one and this one are both from the 2023 Christmas. This one here looks like that from Just Cross Stitch. And this is what it looks like if you do it as charted. But again, I did not do it as charted. So this was a spare piece of opalescent 14 count that I had gotten. I want to say that this came from Michael's, but look how pretty that is. I used Roxy, what's it called? Leo and Roxy for this. And I love how it turned out. And I think some Weeks Dye works. And I think it's so cute. She's gonna love it. So did that one. Obviously these are not finished. These will be turned into ornaments. This one, I think I'm going to do this one as a circle. This one, I think, there's something about this that makes me feel like it should become a pillow. So I think I'm going to do like a round and then like a stuffed, just a little bit stuffed kind of little pillow ornament kind of thing. That's my thought. Okay, then I finished my this was a legacy piece that I did for my nieces. Hear about my nieces a lot. So story time. My nieces, when they play house, one of them is the mummy and the other one is the honey. The honey is which they call the daughter, and whenever they're playing house. And so I just think it's the cutest thing. And so when I saw Home is Where Your Honey Is from Heartstring Samplery, I want to say that was a market release this past year. I fell in love with it and I was like, I need to do that for them. So my first thought was, I'll do it and then they can fight over it whenever I die. I enjoy doing it so much, I decided I was going to stitch it 2 more times, but have them both customize all of the colors for it. So this is instead going to hang in my house. It has their initials on it in place of, it had the designer initials and the year where their initials are. So I put their initials, and everything else is as charted for this one. And I love it. It was just so much fun to stitch. I think Heartstring Samplery may be my favorite designer now. I don't know. I have so many favorites, but this was really, really great. I highly recommend this. And I don't remember, I want to say this was 18. Yes, this was definitely 18 count. It was 18 count 1/2. 1/2. 18 count 1/1. Picture this plus. Okay, then I finished one of Bendy Stitchy, Michelle Garrett over at Bendy Stitchy. One of her tarot cards. This one is called the Empress. And this was a one and like finished this in one day. So this is on a piece of painted Aida or printed painted, whatever that is, where only one side is done, that I got from Michael's 14 count, and I used the Hearts for Karen, I think it was called. I did a conversion to that through the Cottage Garden Threads, I think is the Hearts for Karen. So that one was super fun, easy, super fun. All right, then I finished, this is for my husband, and this is from Flossie Fox Shop, and it is called the Gamer Sampler. This one I did on, I want to say it's 16 count Aida, picture this plus, and the called for DMCs. And it's like that's pretty accurate color wise right there. It was so much fun. I just love like non-traditional samplers. My husband's a huge gamer, so that one was for him. And then my last finish, been very busy. My last finish, this I had started as my Juneteenth piece and ended up finishing it in like a week. It was a really easy finish. It was a lot of fun too. So Silver Creek Samplers, Free at Last. That's Harriet Tubman. And it was just so much fun to stitch. And I did this totally is charted as well. And I think this one was on 18 count. All right, those are all my finishes. I'm very happy with how much I got done. It's been like, I want to say, what, 3 months since last time I taped. So that's all the finishes I've had since I saw you guys last. You're not going to see all my WIPs because I did put them away after I finished taping last time, but I have a giant stack that I've worked on since then. So we will look at my WIPs. And some of these are from the Olympics. Oh gosh, it's the Nap Time Stitch Stitch the Summer Olympics is the stitch along, and there's a different prompt for each day, and I'm choosing something different for every day to work on. And so I've laid my hands on quite a bit because of that, but I had also been doing stuff beforehand. So these were in no, well, I guess the order would be what I worked on most recently to the one I worked on the oldest, because I've literally just been throwing them in a pile. So this is the one I worked on yesterday. So yesterday's prompt was work on something that has a row, that has a border or a row of something. So I went with something that has a border. Sorry, I keep looking down because I'm actually trying to like use this board this time to help show stuff. So this one is All Hallows Eve, designed by Misty Purcell, Luminous Fiber Arts. And that is what it looks like. And this came in, I want to say this was in the Stitchy Box. I think it was in the Stitchy Box Halloween countdown box, if I remember correctly. And I am doing this one as charted, but there was a conversion. I converted, there was a Classic Colorworks and a Weeks Dye Works. I converted those, the Classic Colorworks I ended up using 310, which was the called for conversion using DMC. But then for the Weeks Dye Works Porpoise, I just chose something I had in stash, and so I'm using Frost from Stitchy Box. And this is on a 14 count Witchelt China Pearl. And that is what I have done. And when I first started working on it yesterday, all I had done was this corner and like the black on the top. So everything else I did yesterday. And I'm doing 2/1, but it's 14 count. So you can kind of, I mean, it's kind of spotty. You can see through it a little bit, but I really don't like doing 3 strands. It looks too messy to me. So that was for yesterday's prompt. Okay, the prompt the day before that was work on something that has more than one person. So this is an old WIP, man, let me tell you. This is one of the first ones I started whenever I came back to cross stitching. I don't know if I have a completed picture of what it looks like, because it was a mystery cell, so like each piece came out separately, so you're not going to see what it's going to look like whenever it's done, but you'll get a really good sense of what it's going to look like. So this was from Creatively Crafting, and it was called the couple cell, I think it was. Almost like a Soulmates. It was called Soulmate Cell. I do have that written on my thing. So this one I am doing as called for. This is, I want to say, a 16 count platinum maybe. And this is what I have done so far. What I worked on was here, Lucy. So this is Ricky and Lucy. We've got Fred and Wilma, Hades and Persephone, and then the other ones that are going to be here are Johnny and Baby, and Danny and Sandy. And then for the last one, what was charted is the couple from Bones. I've literally never watched an episode of Bones, so I really don't care about them. So I think instead in this space here, I'm going to just write, I'm going to pick a font that I like and just put Brian and I's names there, like Brian Loves Tara or something like that. All right, the next prompt was work on one of your oldest WIPs. This is going backwards, so this was like 3 days ago. So I pulled out from the Stitching Spell, who is not currently designing, and I have yet to find where their stuff may be, but unfortunately you can't find this. But it was called Castle and Knight and Castle, and it looks like this. But you know, I'm not a monochrome stitcher. So mine, I'm doing, you'll see the blue that I'm doing in the middle, and then I'm using purples and blues for the border and the outside. All right, let's see what's the best way to show this, because this is actually going to be a gigantic piece. So let's see. Oh, you just need to see what I've done. So this is definitely not as big as it is. It's a lot bigger than this. But I completed one more page, which was this stuff up here. And this is on a piece of 16 count picture this plus, I want to say maybe Harold. I can't totally remember though. Let's see if I have it. I saved the sticker for that. And then all the conversions are just DMC. Every DMC purple and blue that I could find. Oh, but I can tell you, I think I'm going to frog my Knight down here. I had done a blend of this blue and a light purple, and I don't like it. Every time I look at it, and I hate it more and more every time I look at it. So I'm going to frog that eventually, and I don't know what color I'm going to do. Probably do just a purple by itself. All right, then was stitch something that has water. So I did a new start for this, and it is part of Lindy Stitch's, what's it called? The Endangered Species Club. So I joined the club with this one. This was number 3, I think. Yeah, number 3. So I didn't get 1 and 2, but when I saw this one, I loved it and decided I should just sign up for the rest of it. So I got 4, and then I'll still get 5 and 6. But it is the North Atlantic right whale. And I love whales so much. Whales and octopus are my favorites. So decided to start this. I am doing, let's see, I'm using a piece of 32 count Silver Moon linen by Zweigart. I'm using the called for Fancy Floss, and then I'm using substitutions for the DMCs, just whatever I can find. So as of right now, I have used Cinnamon Toast from Classic Colorworks. No, that one came with it. I take that back. My substitution, Forbidden Fiber Co., Jingle Bells, and Roxy Whistler are substitutions I have used so far. There will be more. That's just the ones I've gotten to thus far. And this is what I got done. Whoops. Try that again. So this is a very nice stitch. Love the whales. And this month's is a lemur, which is so cute. Next up, what was this one? This one was, Stitch with the colors of the Olympic flag. With a color from the Olympic flag, so you know the primary color, the yellow. So stitch with yellow, green, blue, red, or black. Are those the colors? Close enough. So I used green and yellow, working on In Praise of Pollinators from the Blue Flower. And for this one, I am using, what am I using? 40 count Stormy Night Newcastle linen. And this is, I'll just show you what I got done. As charted. And I love her color choices. I just think they're turning out so good. Like that bird, gorgeous. But what I did was that yellow part down here and all but the top one of those leaves is what I worked on for that prompt. All right, next up was something that reminds you of summer. And this one I think is called Sunflower Fields or Sunflower Garden, Sunflower Farm. I think it's Sunflower Farm. Yeah, that's it. I don't have it printed out, so I will put a picture of what this will look like up on the screen. And I want to say this is on a piece of, picture this plus jade, I think 18 count, and I'm doing 1/1. No, maybe it's 2/1. I don't know. I have to. Anyway, as charted with the DMC, and I got all of this done, and I think she's so cute. Look at how cute she is. Reminds me of the Mary Engelbert characters. Everything's just called for with that one. All right, next up, new start. I started this on the same day. No, I didn't. When did I do this? I can't remember. I finished something. Oh, I know. So the day of the circles, okay. So the tree, that mod tree I showed at the beginning, I finished. That was actually finished on a prompt day. So that was for stitch something with circles. When I finished that, I pulled out, I wanted to do something else too, because I still had time left for the day. And so I started the Yellow Submarine from Blackbird Designs. And I am using that same color that I did for the Octopus Garden for this one. And I don't have it written down, but this is what I got done. And this I am doing as charted. And I really am loving the way that these colors look on this fabric. It's very sea-like. So just a small start on that one, but still very enjoyable, just like Octopus Gardens was. All right, then there was Stitch. Stitch the Nation. So you had to pick out like something that would represent a nation. It didn't matter which nation. And so I worked on the British Quaker flag from Vivsters that I am doing for Cassidy. Let's see here. If I can get this all on here. This one's quite huge. I can't get the whole thing to fit on my board, but so this is how big it will be. Giant. And this is, oh, whoops. Okay. What I have done so far. So I worked on these two, and then in through here I did for that day. So that is where I am at currently. And I like that I've completed the border completely, like all the little individual squares, so I really can jump around if I want to. This is on 18 count vellum from Picture This Plus. Hopefully I put a picture of that up as well. Okay, moving on. I think, oh no, wait, hold on. The last one for the Stitch the Olympics. This was a new start. One was a new start. It was work on a new start or something that you started in 2024. So I did both. So the new start I had is the Bella Filipina Mad Tea Party. And I am doing this to commemorate Cassidy and I's road trip to go see Melanie Martinez. She has a song called The Mad Hatter. So where this says Alice, I'm going to change that to say Mad Hatter because it's like Alice looks like the Mad Hatter in this one. And then I'm going to put in All the Best People Are Crazy, which is a lyric from the song. So I didn't have all of the called for flosses yet. I had been waiting for them in order. I have them now. But so I decided to just start with the outline. But the color that was called for the outline, well, I should say, okay, I'm making a lot of changes to this because I hate cray neck. I hate all of that metallic like thread. And you'll see I did use it on something else thinking maybe cray neck would be better than the DMC stuff. It's not. It's just miserable to me to stitch with. And so I'm not going to. In turn, I have to make some conversions because this has cray neck in it. So that's changing. But then, so the outline, you can see what this part here, this frame thing. The one I have was really way too close to the color of the fabric that I got. So the fabric that I got is 14 count lupine and from Picture This Plus. 14 count because, you know, there's beads, and so I need to make sure it works with the beads and everything. So I picked a different color for the outline of that frame. And I went with a Leo and Roxy color. So Leo and Roxy had a sale, and I got some really, like, just such fun colors, and I have been substituting those a lot lately and things. And so for this one, I used Under the Sea foam, is what it's called. And so this is what I got done. I really wanted to work on some other stuff, but I didn't have anything that was like for any of the stuff that's in here. I wanted to work on some of that, but I didn't have any of the correct colors for that. So I had to wait for my order to come in. So that is what I got done for my new start. And then I'll show you what I did for my something you started in 2024. I worked on, there we go, Halloween at Hawk Run Hollow. So, you know, this is what it looks like. I am currently up here in this square. This is from Carriage House Samplings, and I'm in love with Hawk Run Hollow, and I want to do them all. Oops, forgot to put this floss back. I have to put things back as I go, or else everything will be just crazy. So I am doing this on, what am I doing this on? 40 count Country Mocha Newcastle linen. And, you know, this is a huge piece, so I'm just gonna fold to show you. Well, I'm just gonna do it like this. I'm not even gonna attempt to put it on the thing. So this is what I have done so far, and it is 1/2. And this is just such a joy to work on. I know I say that about a lot, but that's, you'll see there are some things I don't like that I'm doing as well. That just, I mean, they're fine, but they're not like super fun. But this one's super fun, and I like it a lot. So I was able to work on some more of that. I worked on more of the house for that. All right, so that is all my Olympic stitching. Now let me show you the other stuff, the other WIPs I've worked on. So this is the Christmas gift. Well, it's not Christmas, it's a Yule gift for one of my coworkers. She celebrates Yule. And I fell in love with this pattern. So Tiny Modernist Yule Goddess. And I have this broken down, so I'm doing, I think it's like 1,200, a little over 12, between 12 and 1,300 stitches each month in order to get it done by Yule. And I am doing this on 30 count grasshopper linen from WIPS Dye Works. I love the linen, but it's so soft. It's so wrinkled. I can't even explain. Making very nice progress on this. I finished, well, since last time you saw it, I finished her dress and all the stuff in her dress. And then I did, let's see which side, all the stuff on this side, these things. So I am on track to have this completed as a surprise gift. And this made me fall in love with Tiny Modernist. It's my first Tiny Modernist and definitely not my last. Okay, then I worked on, this is the Lord's Prayer from Leela's Studio. And I am doing this on 18 count confetti from Picture This Plus. And I am using the called for MPIs, and then for a couple that weren't in stock when I ordered it, I'm just using conversions from Stash. So this is what I have done thus far. And what I did, I had this part done. So I did from here, all of this is what I worked on when I had it out this time. This is my first Leela Studios, and I'm sure that will not be my last. I just love things that are enjoyable. I like things that have little motifs. Yeah. And I'm doing 2 over 1 for that. Alrighty, then this is, so the Home is Where Your Honey Is. I started working on Livy's conversion, and so funny because Livy's conversion is very Livy, and Ava's is very Ava. So Livy's is getting close. I hope to have it finished for August. This will be on my list of things I'm working on here. I think I'm going to pull this out for my want to finish in 2024 prompt for the Olympics. So sorry, this is like super wrinkled, but here's her color choices, and you can tell from this that she's kind of a crazy kid, I think. So hers looks totally different than mine, and I love that. And Ava's looks totally different than this. And again, this is what it looks like charted here. So completely different. Then I started Sleigh Bells from Praiseworthy Stitches. This is my first Praiseworthy Stitches design. I had gotten this. This was one of the Marketplace designs I had gotten. This is what it looks like. Excuse the glare. Sleigh Ride. What did I call it? I don't know. It's called Sleigh Ride. So, again, I am doing some changes because I am using most of the called for. But again, this one calls for cray neck. I did use cray neck, and this is at the top, and you'll see. Then decided I'm not using anymore. So I'll show you where I use the cray neck, and I mean it looks gorgeous. It's so pretty. I just hate using it, and if I hate using it, it means I'm not going to pull it out to work on it. So I just need to accept that and do substitutions. But so I did the border. This was a new start, so everything here is, whoops, what I did when I worked on it. So you can see this is actually quite a large piece. So worked on the border. There's some deer up here I worked on. So this is where the cray neck is. I don't know if you can see in that moon. It's kind of sparkly. So I like that. I just don't ever want to stitch with it again. So this one involves a lot of counting. I'm not sure. I don't know what fabric this is. I don't know what I do with my sticker. The sticker, why do I feel like this is one that... Oh, here it is. Yep, okay. This is cornflower Ada from Fiber on a Whim. It doesn't... Oh, 16 count. There we go. Okay, 16 count, Fiber on a Whim, cornflower. Can't tell. Blue's my favorite color. Blue and purple. And then and this was also for Christmas in July. This next one was also Christmas in July. This was a new start, and I made a decision. So this is Under the Mistletoe from Finally a Farm Girl. And I decided I wanted to try stitching 1/1 on, it's 1/1 on a piece of 28 count. Because I figured that would be fine. And I did full crosses. I probably should have done 10 stitch, but I'm not restarting it. So it's going to be very small. I'll probably never do 1/1 again, unless on a piece of linen, unless it's called for in the pattern, or I'm doing a 10 stitch. Because it just kind of looks messy, but look, it's so little. That is Santa's face. Right? Yeah, that's his face. His hat's up here. That's Santa's face. Look at how small it is. So it's wee. But I figured it was a good one because it's only 66 by 81. So using all the called for, and I don't remember what the... Well, I know it's a 28 count. I don't remember what it's called, though. So that was, I want to say that was actually my July 1st start. Then I continued working on, this is an old stitch along. This was an old mystery stitch from the Stitch Crypt. I don't have a picture of what it's going to look like when it's done. This is what the frame will look like when it's done. So this was the, oh, that's upside down, sorry, like this. This was the Morbid Curiosities, and I'm doing Mystic Ada 18 count, and I just worked some more on the actual cabinet. And this is 1/1, and I am doing a conversion to stash, other than the black is 310, I think, right? Yeah, I used the black called for, but then I converted the brown, which I haven't even started yet. So this is where I am, and I think this might take me forever. But that's okay. All about the process. All right. Moving along. I have 3 more WIPs to show you. Oh, loving this so much. Okay. So this is the Black Vintage Sampler from Al Forest Embroidery. Sorry, Al Forest Embroidery. And I'm doing this completely different than Charted. So this is on a piece of 18 count jade from Picture This Plus. I got a ton done on this. I mean, well, it felt like a ton. Then I took it out of my Q-snap and I was like, well, it wasn't quite as much as I thought it was. But it's still, considering what I had done, it was a lot. I hadn't even moved into the middle stuff. I had only worked on the border up until this day. So this is, I worked on all of this down here. And I want to say like from here down, all that board, all of this I did. And how fun is that? I'm using Sulky, one strand of Sulky. And this is like really a large piece. It's so awesome. Laura over at Stitching by the Shore is the one that introduced me to this, and I fell in love with it. I knew I wasn't, she did hers in the monochromatic and Anchor Black, the black from Anchor. I can't remember what it's called. And hers is, she finished it recently, and it's, I think it was a total finish. Pretty sure it was a total finish. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful in monochrome, but I really like switching colors, so total conversion there. But this one is just, again, I love sampler pieces, things that have little motifs on them. It makes me feel like I'm doing a lot and getting things done. All right, then my second to last, I did some work on Alice Meets the Caterpillar by Kayoko Muroko, published by Creative Poppy. And this was from the Alice in Wonderland countdown box from Stitchy Box. I am doing this on a piece of Whimsy, 16 count Whimsy. Using all the called for, and oh, it's just beautiful. It looks so good against this color. Look at that. It's even bolder in person. Like, I love the blues up there. I was finally getting into the caterpillar there. I did the only thing I had done was a couple, I think I had some of the green done, one of these flowers, most of Alice, everything else is what I've done recently. All right. I want to say I took this one, I worked on this at camp whenever we were at camp. My last WIP, this is a gift for Ava. This is one of her ornaments. So this one, I did make some changes, converted from stash, and I wanted the girl to look a little bit more like Ava than it did. So this is what it looks like here. This is what I'm doing. And this is called Sweet Annette. No, I'm sorry, it's called Little Christmas Angel. It's from Sweet Annette. I'm doing it on a piece of 18 count perforated paper. So this is my first time using perforated paper, and I'm actually quite enjoying it. The only thing is I have to work on it like in bursts. I have to take like a week break in between because it's kind of hard to pull through the perforated paper, and because it's my surgery hand, it hurts for a couple days after I work on it. But so, yeah, this is what she looks like. And so Ava has dark brown hair and brown eyes, so that's what I changed. I would have changed the dress, but Ava's favorite color is pink, so kept that. But I did do a conversion to colors I had in stash. And this will just get cut out around it and then, you know, have a hook hung on it. So cute. So cute. Okay, so that is all of my progress. Oh, and that was from the 2022 Simply Just Cross Stitch, right? Yeah, Just Cross Stitch Christmas Ornaments. Whoops, put my address up there. I definitely get my money's worth out of these ornament books for sure. Okay, I'll just show you guys a couple things that I got recently, just because they're sitting next to me. So I got from Heartstring Samplery. This is all this is Instead of Sheep, which is from this first. They sing this in White Christmas, which is one of my favorites. Favorites. And then I got the called for floss for that. And then I got Stitching and Quilt from Soir Abatacure. I can't say it. Soir Abatacure. I took French. I should be able to say it. But this right here just looks fun. Then I got Sampler Seasons. I got Winter and Autumn from Blueberry Ridge Design. They are monochrome, but you know I'm going to change that up to different colors. So I got those two. And I got the Fairy Tale box from Starlight Stitchery. Yeah, Starlight Stitchery. So I got that. There's so many in here. I'll just show you one. And I'm probably going to do most of them in here. Let's see, which is my favorites. I think this one's my favorite. There, Mirror Mirror from Fine Frog Stitching. Okay, is that it? I think everything else over here you guys have seen for the most part. Oh, I don't know. There might be new stuff there. I can't remember when some of it came in. I did have some thrift finds. I'm not going to get through those though. Okay. I think that's it. I think that's all my stitching. So lots of progress, lots of fun. If you are just here for stitching stuff, you can go ahead and hop off. I'm going to give you guys just a couple of updates. So health stuff. So I found out that I was severely anemic and my vitamin D levels were low, and my thyroid, which has a history of being hypo, was very hyper. So I got put on iron supplements, vitamin D, had to adjust my thyroid medication to lower. So I was able to go from 150 milligrams of thyroid to 137, I think is my new dose. So I was feeling, I can't explain to you how terrible I was feeling. I went to the doctor. I guess that's like, bottom line is I felt so terrible that I reached out to my doctor and I told them, I said, I have a feeling, I have a feeling it's my iron. I said, I think my vitamin D is low. I wasn't sure about my thyroid, but figured I should go ahead and check that too, just because it has a history of doing crazy things. All came back as being wrong. So listen to yourself, you know your body. I was just so run down and tired, brain fog, like just felt terrible. So I'm on the up and up from that. I get my levels done again in, I think I started that May 31st, so June, July, August, end of this month, I'll get my iron done again. It takes 3 months for your body to make a red blood cell. My red blood cells were low. Like when I got my blood work back, it was the CBC panel. Everything was red, which means it was not right. So had that going on. I have this mouth thing going on that just, it's been going on for years, but I usually associate it with my vitamin D being low, which obviously it has been low, but it doesn't seem to go away anymore. And the more I talk or have to use my brain, the worse it is that happens. And it's almost like a stutter. It's the closest thing I can come to it. It's like my mouth feels like it, I can't get the words out, and it feels like it's twisted up, and it's so frustrating. The worst is whenever, because you know, I'm a COO of a company. The worst is whenever I'm having to run meetings or do supervisions and things like that, and it's doing it, and I get so self-conscious. It's just horrible. So I've been dealing with that. Figured today was a good day to tape because it's first thing in the morning. I really haven't talked a whole lot yet today, so I felt like it would probably be pretty good. Got blood work done. So I'm on Mounjaro. I'm a type 1 diabetic and also obese. So when I started the Mounjaro, I was at 266 when I started. That was not my highest was 290 something, but so I was at 266 when I started the Mounjaro. My A1C when I started the Mounjaro, I think was 7.8. It's either 8.7 or 7.8. I can't remember. One of those. And my fasting blood levels were 166 in the morning. None of that's great. So I started the Mounjaro and had my first round of A1C, all that stuff done again. First of all, I'm down to 228. Oh, I should also say I want to say I started this in February, and it was my doctor's suggestion. I didn't even think I was eligible to do it because I'm a type 1 diabetic and not a type 2. But it has been unbelievable. I mean, amazing in so many factors. Okay. I've had pretty much zero side effects. I've gone from 266 to 228. My A1C was 5.2, which is normal. Normal, not even like pre-diabetic. It's a normal. My fasting blood was 96. No, it wasn't fasting. I'm sorry, that wasn't even fasting. That was at lunchtime. My lunchtime non-fasting blood was 96. I was taking between I'd say between 12 and 20 units of mealtime insulin 3 to 4 times a day, and I was taking between 20 and 40 units of long-acting insulin every night, plus I was taking 2 metformin pills. I am off all of my mealtime insulin. I am down to 12 units of long-acting insulin, which my doctor said I will not be able to come off of, or else I will go into ketoacidosis, and I'm off of the metformin. It has been the best experience. She told me some people just really are lacking in that G1P, I think G1P is that what it's called, hormone, and I must have been. I'm telling you, I used to think about food all the time, and now I have like no cravings. I eat, but much less. Like I eat normal serving sizes. It's just been amazing. That's what I can tell you. I just can't believe how much I've been able to come off and how much better my diabetes is for it. So that's my Mounjaro story. And like I said, very lucky. I think I had some side effects the first 2 weeks I was on it. I haven't had any side effects since then. I'm on the 5 milligram shot once a week, or 5, I don't know how they measure it. So that's going really, really well. Work-wise, work's crazy. I was able to finally submit our application for state licensure as a psychiatric outpatient clinic. So that's very exciting. Hoping that we will get word that our visit will happen. I'm guessing it'll happen in October. Hoping to be fully licensed and have everything done by the 1st of the year for 2025. So fingers crossed on that. Our Disney account is 40, we're in the 40-day range. Got all of my dining reservations that we wanted. Woke up early, successfully got everything, including Space 220, I think that's what it's called, which was Cassidy's only request, and I had heard it was really hard to get those reservations. So we were able to secure those. So we go September 21st to the 28th is when we go to Disney, and we are just super psyched for that. I got to see they've released some friendship bracelets for the rides, and I'm like, oh, we are so going to be getting a few of those. And that's where get my new wardrobe and everything else too for the year. So that's that. Been spending lots of time with my wonderful, amazing nieces. Got to go to Kennywood with them a couple weeks ago. And I'm officially retired from Kennywood, which is our local amusement park. When you get used to going to Disney, like local amusement parks are just, they seem dirty. Like, I'm telling you, we waited in lines the same amount of time we would have waited in lines at Disney, but the payoff is like nowhere close to what you get for a ride at Disney. So, but I have sorry, see, that's what happens with my mouth. I have been wanting to go with my nieces, and so I'm really happy we got to do that. It was unexpected. It was that day. My brother was like, hey, we have 2 extra tickets. Do you want to come with us? Absolutely. So did that, had lots of fun with that. And then Cassidy, like I said earlier, we went and saw Melanie Martinez. That was her Christmas gift. It's her hands down favorite singer ever. And she cried, she bawled. It was a really great, one of the best concerts I've been to. It was amazing. I'm, however, retired from concerts. I am 43 and I am just retiring from all these big social things. I'm so good with like, let's go to the symphony. Let's go see a musical. Like, I'm cool sitting in an auditorium in seats. I can't stand through an entire concert and that late. It was in Columbus, Ohio. I did get to go visit a new, to me, local needle shop, and what was it called? Oh, Cross My Heart. That's what it was called. Got to go to Cross My Heart. Very, very nice. Spent a ton of time in there. They had so many charts to look at. Got some floss. Got some of the Easy Guide ball tip needles, which I haven't tried yet. But anyway, so we stayed up there. I have to say, it was my first time in Columbus. Columbus is beautiful, absolutely beautiful. And we were literally a 2-minute walk from the venue. I would do that every time. So I told Cassidy, even though I'm not going to a concert again, I would totally drive her and her friends, stay at that hotel, walk them up to the venue, go back up and pick them up afterwards and come back. Because I mean, next time we would do that, she would be 16. So that was awesome. It was great. She said it was the best Christmas gift ever. Just took forever to get. Let's see, what else? I think that's about it. So book-wise, I've been on a psychological thriller kick. I can't think of anything that's been like 5 stars recently. I should have wrote stuff down. I'm not even going to talk about books. If I had like oh my God, that was an amazing book. Oh no, you know what? I did have one really good one. Family by Lori Frankel. I think that's her name. She's the one that wrote This Is How It Always Is. This was such a good, like a feel-good book. It was 5-star. It was so good. It was fantastic. Like non-traditional family, found family. If you want to feel good, just read this book. It was so, I flew through it. So I highly recommend that. I think that's it. It's pretty much all I have to say. Okay. So this was better than the last time I taped, but yeah. All right. I'm gonna go. All right, guys. I'll catch up with you later. Bye.